political apparatus is none other than, of course, an individual who's joined with me on a number of occasions, Mr. Baldeo. What's your feeling like after you saw the results? I mean, it seemed as if PPP and, well, the declared winner should have been President-elect Irfan Ali. Yet, however, the news we received was something completely different. So what was your feeling?
Well, my feeling is that it's a sad day for democracy, because then we have to wait and call an outside intervention to help us. When we are a sovereign country, we should be able to police ourselves. I'm very disappointed in the politicians back home. However, we have played our part over here, letting everyone know at the highest levels of American government that the statement of polls have not yet been tabulated. They need to be, and whosoever wins, the democratic process must be followed. And you're right, whosoever takes government, like very President Granger or Irfan Ali was deprived of his democratic seat, that is wrong. Because even America, who sets the standards for democracy in India, people have to come out and say, I'm sorry, we've lost, we can see defeat, power to the people have spoken, and honor that. And as you know, Imran is a very learned man himself, that has to be observed. And I cannot wait until that is done. Now they're going to court, they're having rallies like these, there's tension all over, people are looking at that. We are looking small in the eyes of the community, we are looking desperate, we're brothers and sisters, and whilst we fight for crumbs, the oil companies are laughing, because they're gonna continue to milk the sweet in Guyana, and the people whose birthright it is, who live from buried there, will not benefit from this discovery of oil that will lift Guyana, that will lift our brothers and sisters and unite. We're fighting over crumbs.
You know, actually, someone mentioned it, whether it is Xi Jinping in China, Kim Jong-un in North Korea, or whether it was in the past Lyndon Forbes Burnham, a new name has been added to the list of dictators, David Arthur Granger. Do you agree with that?
Well, Granger has himself to blame. He should not have been led or by the military, or he should not have been misled or fallen. He should have called, look, this is why he has to be a statesman. He is the president. He should concede if he is lost. He should not be making these excuses. He should not be sanctioning illegal things of stealing the ballots and stealing the ballots and so forth. They all bear shame and disgrace because they can't join that list, because they have to now say, let us have a fair count, let us have a complete count, let us open up the statement of polls of 4, let us look at the statement of polls, don't let's look at spreadsheet and got these clerks rolling them around. And I'm sure that they may be party to it, and if they're doing that, that's a criminal act that they're getting involved in, and it's like almost like treason when you steal a government and you try to overthrow a government. So they've got to be careful that the international community is looking. Guyana is in the spotlight, and they will bear the consequences. And yes, history will look very terribly at these people.
You know, whether he has to be careful, there's one thing that, that is for sure. We, the people, whether it is people in Guyana, especially in Guyana or here in New York, we've got to be careful as well when it comes to, the way we express our opinions. Because the thing is that whether it's in Guyana, some people are fighting for democracy and yet lives are being lost. People are threatening each other on social media. Your message that, despite whatever is happening, yet we have to go through a democratic and a lawful process.
Indeed, we have to, go through the democratic process. We're brothers and sisters, Queens, Brooklyn, all unite for a common cause, and that is a fair election. Whosoever wins, so be it. But if all the ballots must be counted, there must be a fair and transparent process. There must be cognizant of the people's rights. The people voted all day and they're waiting in long lines. They must respect the people. No one can self-appoint themselves president and try to steal from the Guyanese people. It's the oil too that's given this brave, this rush to steal, and they should therefore stop that. If they have lost, campaign for another 5 years and win the votes, peacefully. And as we have always tried, I've run for elections 5 times. I have been cheated in some instances, but we have had to concede, and various irregularities happen. But in this case, it is also very clear that the people's rights and their voice has been suppressed, and their votes are not being counted the right way, and that all of the politicians need to observe that. And it's a pity that I understand the United States government has made visits there, and it's ramping up the pressure. Canada, the UK, the United Nations. It's a shame that the United Nations now have to send peacekeeping forces to Guyana. When we're brothers and sisters, we all grew up in Guyana, play cricket together, love each other, go to school together. I grew up in a multi-ethnic community, and all of us. We love our brothers and sisters, so we should not be divided by these narrow-minded politicians and selfish people who they pilfer on strife, they thrive on division.
Definitely. I want to say thank you so much, and thank you for sharing that message with us during your speech about reaching out to the Senate Minority Leader, Chuck Schumer, or everyone as well. If you want to do so, we only have a few seconds. Actually, give a final reminder to everyone to do be sure to call their elected officials. We only have a few seconds left.
Yeah, America is the center of democracy. Make sure you call Chuck Schumer. Make sure you call Senator Gillibrand. Make sure you call also Baldeo. Baldeo is the head of the Foreign Affairs Committee, and he's the one who sent out that letter signed by Congressman Meeks and Yvette Clarke. So you've got to make the calls to your congressional representatives. Congress, this is a foreign affairs issue, and they will then continue to put the pressure on to ensure that there's fair and fair elections in Guyana. And all of this treachery and killings and people being killed, that is shame on the Guyana government and the police taking sides and killing people like animals in Guyana. That has got to stop. They must pay the price. They should be tried in the International Court of Justice and meet the full pressure of the law. We condemn these killings. We ask for democracy to be expedited, and expedited now. All this Chief Justice stuff of hearing things on Saturday and Sunday, we need to get it done by Monday.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for these few moments. And I want to say thank you for always being an advocate for our people.
Thank you too, Imran, for always being on your part too. You're an exemplary leader in the community.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.